Okay, hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm just going to be doing an eye look for you guys. So I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette, and I'm going to start with this shade right here, and I'm going to use this deep shade to just kind of map out how I want my eye look to look. And the brush that I'm using is like a pointed blender brush, I think. Yeah, it's like a pointed blended brush that I was using. And when you are using Morphe eyeshadows, you really want to take your time and build up the color. If not, it'll look patchy, and also it won't be as pigmented as you would want it to be. So you kind of want to take your time and just kind of map out your shape and just kind of blend everything out color by color. And you want to use more than one color and use multiple colors in the color family that you're trying to create the eye look with, so that you can actually see it, especially on like darker skin tone. So the next shade I'm going to use is this hot pink shade and this darker pink shade to kind of blow out that darker shade that I laid down first. And again, you want to be patient and just kind of take your time blending back and forth, and just kind of making sure that you blend that color out and also add pigment at the same time. Then I'm going to take this hot pink shade and use that on top of all of the colors that I've used so far to kind of, blow everything out and blend it out even further. I generally don't like for my eye looks to touch my brow, which is why I'm using like a smaller brush and kind of working my way up so I can keep the look as like compact as possible. And I'm just going to kind of blend everything out into kind of like a cat-like shape. Then I'm going to take that deeper shade at the bottom and use it to kind of reinforce, just to reinforce that shape that I initially made. So just be patient and take your time. If you want to use this video as like a source point on how to do makeup on this complexion of skin, just make sure to note that you always need to be patient and take your time when you're using any color eyeshadow, especially like a cheap version like Morphe. And I know that I want my base to be kind of like pink, so I'm going to go in with this shade here to lay down my base color. And then I'm going to take this darker shimmer and put it on like the outer 2/3 of my eye, just to kind of add a little dimension. Next, I'm going to take this shade right here just to kind of blend in that deeper shade that I was using earlier. This is going to just kind of help marry everything together, and it's also going to kind of help blend that shimmer in a little bit more. Then I'm going to take this lighter shimmer right here and just kind of pop that into like the inner third of my eye. Then I'm going to take this shade right here and use that on my bottom lid to kind of tie my eye look in together, just so everything looks cohesive on the bottom and the top lash line. And then I'm going to go in with this deeper shade and kind of deepen up everything. So I recently, like in the last 2 years, learned how to do my own eye makeup. It was hard at first, but the more I practiced and the more I did it, the easier it became. I'm still not a pro at it. I'm not as good as I wish I was at it, or I'm not as good as I wish I were at it, but I'm still, learning. It's a learning process. And then I take that blending brush that I've been using basically this whole time, and I go back in and I just kind of pull out the outer portion of my eye look, just to kind of give it a little bit more of an intense intense point. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And then I go in with this black shade right here. This is just to kind of make sure the look is a little bit more intense. Again, with Morphe shadows, you're not going to get as much payoff. So a tip when you're using Morphe and you my shade, just go in with a little black towards the end, and that'll help you kind of intensify everything. I wouldn't go directly in with black first if you know you're going to be using different colors other than black to do your eyeshadow look. But I would definitely go in with black at the end, just to kind of make everything look a little bit more intense, just to add a little bit more dimension. Next, I'm going to take that same black shade and kind of buff it into my outer lower lash line, just to kind of bring, make everything more cohesive at the top and at the bottom. Then I'm going to take this shimmer shade here, this dark purple, and just kind of use it to blend into the black. Not to blend it into the black, but to blend it more near so to the black. Then I take these two shades right here and I use that to kind of buff out everything that I did on my bottom lash line. And then I take this kind of fuchsia color. I felt like the look could use a little bit of red. I'm thinking it was because of the top that I was wearing, but I just decided to go in with this kind of fuchsia reddish color to kind of bring a little bit more red to the look. It was subtle. You kind of can't see it on camera, but you could definitely see it in person. And then lastly, to kind of bring everything together, I just kind of tight line before I add mascara. I'm not a false lash wearer, so I just use mascara instead to define my lashes. And at the last minute, I decided to use this shade right here, or this shade right here to kind of use as a highlighter. I was already wearing highlighter before I did this, so what you're seeing is most likely the highlighter that I was already wearing. Adding this little shade from the palette didn't do too much, but it was, I just wanted to see what it would look like. And then I threw in a red lip at the last minute. I don't know why, but I just threw on red lipstick and lip gloss. And this right here is the final eye look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.